Varicella. This is Hakai. Oh, I just noticed now I didn't update that here. I was getting things together so quickly. This is Hakai's viewer pick, Varicella, a 1999 work of interactive fiction by Adam Cadre, distributed in Z-code format as freeware. It is set in an alternate history which features roughly modern technology mixed with Renaissance-style principalities and court politics. So kind of similar to, I guess, Slouching Towards Bedlam, which also had like this kind of steampunk alternate history of 1885 London. This is also mixing modern technology with period era. The characters of Varicella use contemporary language from their home in a Renaissance castle, continuing the contrast between old and new. The player character is Primo Varicella, palace minister in Piedmont, who has to get rid of several rivals for the regency following the death of the king. He was inspired by the Machiavellian protagonist of Prophet, but given even more despicable antagonists. The international situation in the game is described in passing. Piedmont is part of a loose configuration of kingdoms that make up a Carolinian League and is engaged in a war against the Republic of Venice. The game won 4 XYZZY awards in 1999, including the XYZZY award for Best Game. It is like the best IF game of 1999. Slouching Towards Bedlam, by the way, was won Best Game for 2003 from the XYZZY awards, which is kind of like the Oscars of IF games. It was also nominated for another 4 awards. In addition to the 4 it won, it was nominated for another 4. The game was discussed academically by Nick Montfort and Stuart Malthrop in their 2003 paper, Face It, Tiger, You Just Hit the Jackpot, Reading and Playing Cadre's Varicella, and by Dr. Wendy Morgan in her 2003 paper, Touching on Character, New Engagements in New Media Narratives. Cadre himself claimed in a January 2002 interview that it was the best game he had written up to that point. Alright, so there's no real manual for the game, so that's kind of pretty much it. Actually, I think we do have... in addition to winning Best Game, what did it also win? Best NPCs, Best Individual NPC, and Best Individual PC for player character. So those are the 4 awards it won that year, 1999. Yeah, it does sound kind of interesting. Very Machiavellian. Yeah, I guess there's in-game instructions for sure, but usually any in-game instructions we just count as part of the game time. So that is pretty much that. I don't know. We just turned off buys, so I don't see a point in turning them on. So I guess we'll just call a last call for time guesses before we take a look at those. I also, in parallel, I need to apparently... This music is too joyous for the occasion. I guess there's going to be more like Cloak and Dagger type shit. I don't know. Just based on the plot. So can we find some Renaissance music that's also somber or something? This is classical. I don't know if that's going to be... Could try it. I don't know if it's going to be period accurate. Oh yeah, definitely not. Okay, we're not going to do that. Oh wait, this maybe could work. Hey, Jimmy. Okay, this is a little kind of a little, I mean, it's not quite cloak and daggery, but it's definitely a little bit more somber. So we'll roll with that. Okay. Why don't we, we'll turn off, no longer accepting time and death guesses now. Oh, Rufus really wants to play with this. Good catch, buddy. Alright, did we have any double submissions? We did not. Oh, and I was supposed to tell BDR whether he submitted. Alright, I'll do that in a second too. Gesundheit, Rufus. Okay, there was our time guesses. Now for the deaths. Alright, so let's take a look at those. Coconut, the low time guess, 3 hours and 35 minutes. Miria, the first over 4 hours. Ghost, 5 hours. Reg, 6. Jump up to Mantis at 8. Nox, 9. Shakaig, 10. Noble, 11. Classy Fellow, 12. Boss, 13. Mr. Viking, 14. Servo, 15. Nico, 16. Lester, 18. Hakive, 19. Walter, also 19. Dr. Bartek, the high time guess at 20 hours even. Hey, good evening, Megabyte. And then we also have our death guesses. Bombburst, the low death guess at 4. Classy Fellow, the first at 10. Servo 20, Boss 30, Lester 40, Kev 50, Aardvark 60, Nico 70 deaths, the high death guess. Final death count for Bedlam was 9, Reg. 9 deaths for Bedlam. Alright, and then I was supposed to let BDR, yes, you did submit your Windows special vote. It's kind of loud. On August 8th, the first day of voting. Oh, good, and we have a new vote here from Jato. Thank you, Jay. Alright. So by the way, yeah, in case anyone else is here, there's the link to do that if you haven't yet. Alright. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. Varicella. Get organized here with my windows. Rufus. Rufus, get the punch. All right. And let's start our timer for game number 144. Varicella. Varicella by Adam Cadre. All right. 1, start a game in full color. 2, start a game in limited color. 3, start a game without color. 4, restore saved game. 5, how to play interactive fiction. 6, special commands. 7, credits. And 8, test whether your interpreter correctly handles color. 9 is quit. Wow, yes, we apparently have color as an option here. I would love to do EGA. I don't know if I don't think the game has graphics that does it. All right, why don't we test? Let's test whether our interpreter correctly handles color. Okay, this test will display 4 screens, each displaying a different color set. After each screen loads, press a key to move on to the next one. If no text seems to appear, press a key anyway. Eventually you should return to a legible screen, not unlike this one. Press a key to begin. This sentence should be light gray on black. I would say arguably that's white on black. I hope that's okay. This sentence should be white on black. That is correct. Now, obviously, I have sort of chroma keyed out the black, so you're seeing it sort of transparent on the background there, so you're not seeing black. I hope that won't be an issue, but we'll see. This sentence should be bright green on black. Well, at least it is bright green, that's for sure. Press key to continue. Whoa, okay, yep, this is definitely black on green. If all screens up to this point have displayed correctly, limited color mode should work on your computer. Press the key to continue. This sentence should be bright green on dark green. Not sure why you'd want to do that. If all screens up to this point have displayed correctly, full color mode should work on your interpreter. Press the key to continue. Are there any other colors rather than bright green, dark green, black, and white? And I guess there was light gray too. This sentence should be in your interpreter's default color set. This concludes the emergency color test. If this had been a real test, if any of the first 3 screens displayed incorrectly, i.e. produced text of the wrong color, or no text at all, color mode is not recommended. The same is true if neither of the last 2 screens displayed correctly. Otherwise, it is suggested that you follow the last mode recommended during the course of the test. Okay, so it looks like we can do full color. Press the key to exit. Alright, why don't we do how to play interactive fiction. I mean, I'm sure it's probably pretty standard, but there could be a few wrinkles here. Interactive fiction getting started. Okay, so I've read the opening paragraphs. What am I supposed to do with this thingy? Good question. The carrot prompt appears whenever it is your turn to tell the game what you want to do. Simply type in an imperative statement like, open the door, or eat the sandwich, and press the enter key. Also, articles aren't necessary. Open door or eat sandwich will work just as well. Occasionally, the game will ask you to clarify a command you've typed. For instance, if you type eat sandwich and there is more than one sandwich in your immediate vicinity, the game may respond, which sandwich do you mean? The ham sandwich or the bologna sandwich? Yeah, I'll eat both, I guess, if you're BDR. Is that usually necessary to retype your command? Simply answering the question is fine. Ham is a sufficient reply, for example. Of course, you don't have to answer the question if you don't want to. If you're a vegetarian, like Knox, and don't want to eat either sandwich, you can type open door, and the game will treat it as an all-new command. No matter how enthralling your initial location is, chances are you'll eventually want to go somewhere else. To do so, simply type the direction you want to go. Walk north. Alright, yeah, this is pretty much standard. We got the 4 cardinal directions and diagonals, up and down, in and out. Yes, you can go in and out, Rufus, but unfortunately not out now because, yeah, she's not home yet. That's right, the Zippo's not back yet. Come here, buddy, give me your punch. These last 2 may not be appropriate in many places. In makes sense if you're standing next to a single door, for instance, but not if you're standing all alone in a meadow. Pronouns such as it are useful, but can be tricky. Good boy. Usually it refers to the last object you use as a direct object of the command. If you type examine rhododendron, and the description is appealing enough that the rhododendron must be yours, take it is sufficient. It's interesting with this guy, Adam Cadre, who felt compelled to, he's giving you a whole introduction to IF. Usually most don't really bother with that. But be wary, humans and pronouns don't always agree. All is another useful word when you want to put all in a backpack or take all from a cupboard. Sometimes you will encounter people and other animate creatures with whom you'll wish to interact. There are 3 ways to converse with characters in this game. You can ask about something, tell the character about something, or give orders in the following format. Sheila, touch my monkey. That's right, Sheila, touch my monkey. Of course, the character may choose not to obey. You'll find that you spend most of your conversations requesting or demanding information, not giving it out. The game has a vocabulary of about 1,500 words. Some verbs you might want to try. Oh, geez. Wondering if we should screenshot this, probably, for easy reference. Oh, here's the punch. You might want to try close, drink, drop, eat, examine, give, jump, kill, kiss, knock. That's the best thing. Kill and kiss are always next to each other with these verb lists. I'm always amused by that. Knock, listen, look, open, pull, push, put, read, remove, search, show, sit, sleep, smell, taste, throw, tie, tie-dye, touch, turn, untie, wake, and wear, among many others. You can also combine many of these verbs with prepositions. In addition to look, you can look at, inside, under, through, and so forth. There are a number of special commands and abbreviations you should be aware of. In addition to the compass directions mentioned above, they include G, short for again. This repeats the last command. Yes, fetch my punch, Rufus. It's actually your punch, Rufus. You have to fetch your own punch. I is short for inventory. L for look. X for examine. Z for wait. And quit ends the game. Restart and restore, which is not available online. Oh, there was a browser-based version of this too then. That's kind of neat. And save. This is only the beginning of what you can do in a piece of interactive fiction. Every game will provide additional verbs, rules, and capabilities in each of the game. It's strongly suggested that you read the menu selection special commands to learn about the ones provided in this game. But feel your way around, try things as they occur to you, and most of all, have fun. 2 cans right outside the door. There's also a squirrel and a coconut that are flying about. This is ridiculous. My wife is introducing one new one every 2 weeks. I'm saying this is completely spoiling him, and like now we're getting these things all over the house. It's like, all right, 2 or 3 is fine, but more than that, it's just getting ridiculous. All right. So now we want to look at the special commands. A box of rags. Exactly. I feel like these toys are more for the people because they're like, oh, it's a bowl of punch. Like, yeah. Rufus doesn't care. If it's just satisfying to knot and, and toss around, then that's all he cares about. All right. There are a number of commands and capabilities in this game that are not found in most IF, and yes, you will need to take advantage of at least some of them to win the game. All right, so I'm glad that there's actually a discrete ending. That's helpful. All right, I'm just cropping the special commands there. Okay. You can move from place to place using the traditional compass directions. If you're not sure which ones are available in any given location, exits will tell you. The amount of detail that the exits command goes into depends on how familiar the player character is with his surroundings at the moment. Well, that's kind of cool. That's interesting, actually. Hey, good evening, Rex. In addition, you can move to any location you can see and identify without using compass directions. Enter the kitchen or go into the chapel, for example. You cannot, however, go to faraway locations using this method. Only locations that show up in the exits list are fair game. Yeah, I'd rather just map it out and just move with the cardinal directions. Probably easier that way. What I'm used to. Ooh, lovely BDR, just lovely. Thank you for sharing that. You can look into different rooms as well. Look in the kitchen will tell you what's happening in the kitchen so long as it's within your line of sight. You can even look west or look southeast and be told what you see and reply. Conversation is handled through the usual ask-tell orders interface. Though you'll find that the player character is far more inclined to request or demand information from others than to give out any. So how do you specify whether to ask or demand? 3 tones of voice are available. Oh boy. Cordial, hostile, and servile. You can switch from one to another by simply typing the word, or alternatively type tone C, tone H, and tone S. Your tone is noted on the status line. Oh boy. This is, yeah, if this is going to be Machiavellian, it's going to rely so much on conversations. Yeah, this could be important. Wow. All right, let me just write down, just as a note. We have cordial, hostile, servile. Servile. What the heck? Should have put a space there. I think so, Rex, actually. I think there was at least one other thinking that did have something similar to this. Yes, sentient. Oh god, sentient. and certainly there are flavors of this with Captain Blood and other games with like when the focus was on communication. Yeah, that was awful. Should you enter a vehicle somewhere in the game, you may drive it in the compass direction of your choosing. You may also play with toys, such as this punch bowl. Right? Right, Rufus? Yeah, did you see him? He's like, right. Good boy. Get the punch bowl. Get the ball. Okay. Should you encounter a vehicle somewhere in the game... Oh, I just read that. Looking at rooms and objects takes much less time off the clock than walking around. You'll find that not every turn causes the same amount of time to pass. Oh, no, it's a real-time game. Or not real-time, but timed in some way. A move timer, perhaps? Oh, God, that's concerning. I've left in a pair of commands normally used for debugging, recording, and replay. The first of these saves the moves you type into a script. Oh, okay, that's good. When the script... Well, we kind of have playback anyway.
Time for some debugging.
Time limit will be an issue. Oh, boy. When the script you want to create is complete, just type recording off. Then to replay that series of moves, just simply type replay. Oh, wait a minute. So are you creating like a macro for use in the game? Like if you wanted to do a series of 10 moves, could you just put replay and it would do that? It would just input the series of 10 moves automatically? If I'm interpreting that the right way, that's pretty incredible. Yikes. Other special commands are left to the player to discover. Wow, okay. Wow, so there are additional ones too. Wow, that's pretty incredible. All right. So I guess the only other... Well, we might as well just look at the credits. Why not? Written and programmed by Adam Cadre, tested by Cody Sandifer, Paul O'Brien, and Magnus Olson. Informed programming language by Graham Nelson. Thanks to... I think he did a lot of IF games himself, Graham Nelson. Thanks to Adam Thornton and to everyone who wrote in with comments and bug reports. Oh man. Alright, shall we start it? Let's start a new game in full color. Full color it is. Press a key to begin. You are Primo Varicella, Palace Minister at the Palazzo del Piemonte. This title is unlikely to impress anyone. I don't know, Palace Minister sounds nice. Piedmont is the laughingstock of the Carolinian League, and the Palace Ministry has devolved into little more than a glorified, and not even especially glorified, butlership. What, really? We're a butler? Your duties include organizing banquets, overseeing the servants, and greeting visitors. Oh, we're a greeter. Maybe we can apply to work at Walmart. It is safe to assume that the War Minister and the Coffers Minister lose little sleep over your presence in the King's cabinet. Yeah, so basically we're kind of like Director of Operations, basically. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. For like the palace itself. Alright. But Charles Martel was a palace minister, and he turned back the Moors at Tours, lo, these many years ago. His son Pepin, was a palace minister, and he became king of the Franks. It is not unprecedented for palace ministers to make something of themselves. When arguably we already have game, don't discredit our current station in life. One might even say it is tradition. All you need is an opportunity. And that opportunity is now. King Charles was not an old king. Indeed, he had a good 40 years left in him, perhaps even 50. But an assassin's bullet or a well-placed ice pick... Well, what game did they say this was? It's like Basic Instinct here? Can steal 50 years in less time than it takes to say the words. And a sudden illness? An illness such as the one King Charles contracted 2 days ago? Perhaps not as quick, but just as effective. For if this letter you've just received is correct, just such a disease has claimed the life of the king. This leaves the principality in the hands of his son, Prince Charles. It's kind of starting to sound like a Game of Thrones here a little bit here. Prince Charles is 5 years old. Piedmont, what is Joffrey, is brewing here. Piedmont, it seems, will be requiring the services of a regent for the foreseeable future. And you can think of no better candidate than yourself. Okay, so we're not trying to be the king, because his rightful heir is 5. We're just doing a regent who will be like having the king duties without actually being king until Prince Charles comes of age. By the way, so King Charles, is it Charles II? I mean, he has the same name as his dad. Magnus was an editor for Spag. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Ah, so you recognize that. Nice, Biss. Of course, you shall scarcely be alone in seeking the position. The king's cabinet is not a small body. Are the only candidates within the cabinet? That's the other question. Did he have a wife, perhaps? And your fellow ministers will no doubt try all sorts of unseemly tactics in their quest for the throne. Some will try bribery. Others will employ treachery. A few may even resort to brute force. But would Primo Varicella stoop to using one of these methods? Perish the thought. You're better than that. You shall employ all 3. Yes, that is a dun-dun-dun moment for sure. Alright, so we have to use bribery. That's actually good. Let's actually make a note of that. So we need to assume role of regent king, using bribery, treachery, and brute force. I think I got rid of the brute emote because no one used it. Let me just confirm. Yeah, I got rid of it. No one used Andre the Giant. Okay. It will be an uphill struggle, to say the least. Of those soon to be clamoring for the regency, you are among the lowest in rank. But you are not without a number of advantages. The drama to unfold will play out in the palace. Your palace. We are a palace minister, after all. Time is also on your side. At present, only you and the queen know of the king's demise. Oh, so we have information is power. And there is a queen. Is she in contention for the regency? In fact, in many cases, it would just be the queen if the prince was not of age. That's odd. Well, I guess we don't know a line of succession here. All right, and you've known of his illness for a couple of days now. Days in which you've hatched a flawless plan. Is the game going to clue us into what that plan was? There should be little to stand in the way of your ascent to power, so long as you put your plan into action immediately. Or at least as soon as this manicure is finished. Yes, priorities, everybody, priorities. Yes, one must have one's priority. That's hilarious. I was just thinking that you wrote it too. Yes, one must have one's priorities. Varicella, written and programmed by Adam Cadre. Version 1.14, 31st of August, 1999. Yeah, so we should jump out of the window. Win the game. Serial number 9339. Written in Inform 6.15, Library 6/7. Salon. Oh boy. Yes, we are starting. Okay, so they're intentionally going with, that was really their intentional choice, going with bright green or green on green. Why? Why is that a good idea? It's not visible. Why? Oh my gosh. We might have to go to limited color if that's really their choice. Alright, you funneled the lion's share of the, so our tone is cordial. You funneled the lion's share of the palace improvements budget, and most likely the tiger share as well, waka waka, into renovating the salon. Not that the Philistines you live among are equipped to appreciate it. From the plush quattordici chairs to the handsome volumes in the library, to the imported Ming tea service, to the steward you hired to attend to your grooming needs, this is an oasis of taste and comfort in what is otherwise a fairly uncomfortable and tasteless building. Ah well, When you become regent, you'll have greater latitude to redecorate. The arch windows overlook the western gardens, while the exit leads east. East. The steward shapes the final nail with a pair of scissors. Yes, indeed. Great idea, Biss. Let us save that, indeed. Start salon. Well, you can see the status line. It's just very difficult to read. But this is the game's choice: is to feature green on green, green lettering on a green bar. I'm really not sure. Is there anything we're gaining by doing full color? I don't know if anyone knows, but I wonder if there's anything we're gaining by doing full color as opposed to limited color, because that green on green just seems better. It just seems terrible. Like, why? Like, why was that the choice? I don't get it. All right, the colors aren't necessary. I mean, they might add something. Should we try limited colors? Yeah, let's try limited color. I think the limited color doesn't have the All right, well that's black on. Okay, that's better. We don't need light green on dark on other green. Yeah. Well, this is at least visible, so I prefer to go this way. You can at least read this. It's not a clash on the eyes. All right, the steward shapes the funnel nail with a pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm guessing if we just put look, we're just gonna get the same room description. Oh yeah, basically, yep. Okay, so let's examine the steward, huh? This was far and away your most important hire upon your appointment as palace minister, and you agonized over the choice for months. You can countenance the occasional undusted end table or poorly polished piece of silverware, but less than a perfect manicure? Never! Can we examine our nails? You would rather go down in history as having failed to seize power than as having seized power, but having had grubby fingernails while doing so. Jeez, who are we? Wow. Alright, the scissors. The scissors are on the small side, yet nonetheless sharp for that. It probably, yeah, if we're going to use brute force, we need a weapon. Can we get the scissors? Those seem to belong to the steward. The steward expertly attends to your fingernails with an emery board. It is your considered opinion that whoever invented the emery board is the greatest genius in human history. Alright, can we look east? Nothing of note seems to be transpiring in the western ballroom at the moment. Oh, at least they told us the location. That's going to be next up here. The steward blows lightly on your fingertips. Finger the steward. Oh my god. Alright, can we ask the steward about nails? How's the manicure proceeding, you ask? Shouldn't be much longer, sir. Or actually, no, it's Italian, right? The steward says. Finished, the steward says. Same time tomorrow, I trust? Good day. He steps out. Alright, is there anything else in the salon that we want? Oh, he probably took the board and the scissors with him. Oh, there are windows that look the western gardens, actually. Yeah, let's look at the windows. Like the other windows in the palace, these are made of soundproof, unbreakable treated glass imported from China, mirrored on the outside and polarized on the inside to filter out the glare of the sun. These windows overlook the western gardens. Look out window. The western gardens are in excellent condition. Indeed, at this very moment, the gardener is dutifully tending to them. Audrey Manson, formerly, oh man, we might need to take stock of the characters here. We had the steward, gardener, Audrey Manson, formerly a Magdalene at a nunnery outside Dublin. She was transferred for a fortnight to the local convent. Word about her gardening abilities traveled quickly in claustral circles, and you were so dazzled by the instant improvement in its greenery that you had hired her at once. Though many of the staff objected that gardening is unseemly work for a woman, and you were inclined to agree, one cannot argue with the results, and the western gardens have been in immaculate condition since her arrival. So can we open that? Let's actually try to jump out there. The windows do not open or close. The place has central heating and cooling. How about that? Yes, can we break the window? As the window is unbreakable, this would be futile. Is there a real team? That's awesome. That's funny. Alright, so I guess we're ready to go east to the western. I guess we'll make... I don't know if it matters. Oops. Window above. What was the garden? Whatever. Alright, let's just go east. Yep, to the western ballroom. Though a somewhat finer grade of marble was used in the construction of the eastern... Oh, look, time 1 o'clock. Oh, shit. I was using the construction of the eastern ballroom. You've always preferred to hold the majority of events here in the western ballroom, if for no other reason than the ready access to the salon to the west. Other exits lead north and south, while an array of windows along the eastern wall flank the arch leading to the palace courtyard. So let me just see if you type in exits. North. Oh, it actually tells you where they go. That's kind of cool. We can actually fill this out in advance. That's neat. So, excuse me. Southwest tower antechamber. West of the salon. And north is the northwest tower antechamber. We can actually go to the courtyard to the east or not. Like the other windows in the palace, these are made of a soundproof, unbreakable treated glass imported from China. The same thing. Okay. These windows overlook the palace courtyard. Is this like a first floor thing? So maybe we could have gone west to the gardens after all. Hang on. You walk into a solid wall. How unseemly. Oh, okay. So you can go east of the western ballroom, but not west of the salon. Got it. Unobtainium. Alright, so it doesn't look like there was much to do in the ballroom itself. So I guess let's start off by going south. We'll go north first. Why not? Northwest Tower Antechamber. Though every diplomat to arrive in Piedmont is given a tour of the palazzo in the hopes that he will report back to his king about the majesty of the palace, the fact is that the palace is composed in a large part of simple functional spaces like this antechamber. The northwest tower lies, shockingly, to the northwest, while other exits lead east to the dining hall and south to the western ballroom. Okay, so we got the dining hall. Okay. So there's nothing really to do in this antechamber. Alright, dining hall. Though this dining hall was able to hold the entire Venetian delegation with ease when they were here for the failed peace negotiations, you've grown far more accustomed to seeing it at 1:30 in the morning as King Charles and Miss Sierra indulge in a postcoital late-night snack at a table built for 60. It's been ages since this chamber even remotely resembled the raucous banquet depicted on the tapestry decorating the southern wall. An old suit of armor stands guard over the entrance to the kitchen off to the north. Other exits lead east and west. Okay, so we got the kitchen. Okay, and then a page rushes by and disappears into the stairwell. Guess that was in the tower antechamber. Still just 5 after 1, by the way. So we'll have to keep a time log of what happens. And by the way, also the characters, right? So we have King Charles, Prince Charles, age 5. We have the Queen, and then we also just had a reference now to Miss Sierra, who is the, I guess, the mistress. King's mistress. Now we also apparently have a page. Okay. So we have north of the kitchen, west, northwest. Okay, and then the northeast tower antechamber. Can we not go south to the courtyard? I guess not. All right. And then in the dining hall, we have... oops. We've got armor, and we have a tapestry. This is a castle, and we do have many tapestries. Hey, Dark. This tapestry...
This is a castle, and we have many tapestries.
Thank you, Dark. So I may need to lift that up some. This tapestry is a somewhat less than masterful depiction of a banquet during the time of Charles Il Fabro. Charles sipping from a goblet and listening to a pair of scholars debate some theological point, while swarthy knights gnaw enormous drumsticks and the king's young son Louis tosses scraps to the palace poodle. It's quite an eyesore, but then, that era was well known for its kitsch. Can we look behind the tapestry? The tapestry is flush against the wall with nothing behind it but cool marble. You were expecting Polonius? I was indeed. This foreboding figure was installed by Charles the Unwell, and it is said that various ministers would find him at all hours of the day and night having animated conversations with it. Subsequent years, it has become quite a fixture around the palace, and no one can bear to see it go. Can we open the armor? A peek inside the visor reveals the armor to be empty. Okay. Can we wear the armor? The only way to move the suit of armor is to dismantle it, a tedious and pointless process. Oh, did we actually take it? Oh, geez. Oh, wow. We're actually carrying a lot of stuff. Okay. You are carrying a letter. Polonius, he definitely was a Shakespearean character. Was that Hamlet? I honestly don't remember. I mix a lot of the side characters, conflate them across all the plays. You're carrying a letter from the Queen and your master key. You're wearing a shirt of the finest imported Chinese silk, a doublet of a subtle purple hue, an old-style jerkin with a pleasingly high collar, a fittingly understated pair of black hose, a fashionable pair of paned knee breeches, a black cloak edged with a splendid silver brocade, a pair of stylish custom-made shoes, and a hat that is all the rage in Paris this season. I would expect nothing less, given our description so far. Alright, let's read this letter here. A page delivered this letter, bearing the Queen's seal, shortly before 1 o'clock. Oh, I'm wondering if that page that crossed our path just delivered another letter to somebody else. So maybe we've already lost our time advantage. I guess we'll see. It reads, "The king is dead, and you have to make sure that nothing bad happens. I told the guards not..." Wait, this is the Queen? Really? Queen. You could your spelling could use a little bit of work here. I told the guards not to tell anyone, but I don't think they are going to listen, and who knows what is going to happen now. You have to make sure that none of the ministers tries anything crazy, because if anything happens to me or to Charles, then I am going to have the guards kill you and your mom too. It is your responsibility. Oh, fuck. You were quite astonished to receive this letter. You'd been under the impression that the Queen was completely illiterate, and apparently this confirms it. Apparently she's been cribbing from the young prince's homework on the sly. Oh yes, those cheeky women trying to learn their letters in this day and age. Alright, so we have to prevent the ministers from trying anything crazy. Because, so basically, her and Charles' life is in danger. I'm guessing the Charles she's referring to is Prince Charles, the son. Because the king obviously already died. Alright, fair enough. So we probably need to find where the... I guess we have to find out where the ministers are and where the Queen is. You know, put guards to protect them or something. I'm guessing we're director of operations or something. I thought we were the only ones who knew with the Queen, but now apparently the guards know. The master key to the palace is more than just a key. Far more. A flat rectangular box about the size of a deck of tarot cards. It not only allows you access to any room of the palace simply by its presence on your person, but a little tinkering with the electronics also allowed you to store information in it. All in all, it's a model of simplicity. An LCD screen, a record button, a play button, a write protect button, a slider numbered from 0 to 9, and an input jack. Oh, is this like our macro device? At present, it holds the notes you made while piecing together your master plan. Oh yes, we should clue ourselves into our master plan. To view a program, set the slider to the appropriate number and press the play button. Okay, set slider to 0. Alright, play. What do you want to play? Play, notes? I can't play that. Play key? Push play? Oh, there we go. Alright, so we have dossiers on a variety of people. Oh, bye. Okay, so these are probably our... And there's Miss Sierra. Do you think that's a reference to Sierra Online? Probably not. They didn't really do text adventures other than soft-porn adventure. Well, from the end, it kind of is in Renaissance. It's just with an alternate history where they do have electronics. Alright, so I think we should segment the people. I'm guessing the dossiers are of probably the rivals. So let's do Klaus Werkite. Whoops. Klaus Werkite, War Minister. We have Argento Rico, Coffers Minister. I guess that's kind of like Treasury or Finance Minister. Pierre Bonfletch, Christ Minister. Is that like religion, I guess? Varicella Modo, which is the Interior Minister. Ambassador to China, Marco Pulici. What about the Ambassador to Venice? Alright, then we have Prince Louis. Oh, who is not Prince Charles. That's someone else. Okay, the Queen is Queen Sarah. And then we have Miss Sierra, and 9 is empty. Interesting. Okay. So should we do 1? Oh, push 1? It is either not in the immediate area or is beneath your concern. Oh, wait a minute. So the slider on 1 just has, or 0 has all those dossiers? Damn. Okay, read. Where am I seeing the info that says what they are? What do you mean? It says Ambassador to China, Marco Police. I mean, right on the menu. Read. Where kite dossier? Ah. Alright, so somehow the syntax got messed up here. Play button. This is a small arrow-shaped piece of plastic that slides up and down the slide of the master key, pointing the numbers engraved there, currently set to 0. Oh, Sarah is... Well, no, I'm not going to ask you that question. To view a program, set the slider. Right, press play. Play. Push, play. Well, how do I select a thing? A menu. Alright, do we just do select 1? Choose 1? Push? No, I already did push. Maybe just 1? Damn it. How do I select the menu? Read dossier on Miss Sierra. Oh, damn it. Oh, I guess it's because the slider is on 0, which it shouldn't be. Set slider to 1. Push play. Oh. Okay, so I guess 0 is just the menu, and now we're getting, I see, and then you have to move the slider to the number to read the person's dossier. Okay. So this is Klaus Werkite, the War Minister. The War Minister's smug, chiseled, Aryan face swims up onto the screen. The text reads, "A dangerous opponent. Lack of compunction in eliminating rivals evidenced by almost certain responsibility for murder of Terzio. Has absolute control over the army, will commit all resources to seizing the throne once informed of the king's death, possibly even if informed only of his illness. Weaknesses..." Okay, so let's just say that he, murderer, has army, will seize throne. Alright, weaknesses, modern campaign against Venice, Minimum travel time from Venice to Piedmont, 2 hours. Oh, so that basically means like it's 1:15, so it could be around at we'll just say 2 hours away. Okay, so we have a little bit of time before he shows up, I guess. The master key calls up the coffers minister's publicity photo. You can practically smell the hair oil through the screen. What the heck? The text reads, virtually unlimited resources make Rico mildly formidable. Money. Chief weakness, lack of killer instinct. Alright, instead of saying money, I'll just say, like, wealthy. Likely to think Regency can be bought for money without blood. Ah, so this guy's going to be the bribery guy. Yep. Most dangerous, throwing in with another rival, providing financial backing. Must be neutralized. Okay, so... Okay. Dangerous if he hooks up with other minister. Okay. Neutralize him. So I'm hoping these neutralizing involves us like knocking these guys off, but it could be more Machiavellian than even that, so we'll see. A picture of the Christ minister, Ursine as ever. That's like a wolf, right? Ursine. Blinks onto the screen. The text reads, or no, sorry, Ursine is bear. Bear, sorry. Obviously, wolf is canine. All right. Not a threat personally, but definitely one. Oh yeah, lupine. Yes, thank you, Motion. Lupine, yes. Definitely one capacity as representative of the Avignon papacy. Scarcely interested in the Regency, despite current position supervising Prince Charles's education. There will be no Regency once Piedmont becomes just another region of Greater Provence, but rather a governor cardinal. Imperative to keep that sewer Avignon out of this? Meaning, don't let the papacy take control? Keep out of Avignon papal control. Okay. Maybe we can see, he said overseas Prince's education. We might be able to use that to our advantage somehow. Wolf flag. Another page. Alright. The best photo you could find of the interior minister was this blurred video capture. By the way, how are we going to give out Cedric's for this? This is going to be tough. I guess we'll just give out one because we're like getting intel. I don't know. The text reads, the most unpredictable element. Insane. Varicella modo. Unpredictable. Insane. Extent of control over internal security forces. Uncertain. So we don't know. Controls security forces. Perhaps can be pitted against Werkite, leading to annihilation of both forces. Oh, that's a good idea. Pit against... Excuse me, Werkite's army. That's a great idea. I mean, only if he has control of the security forces, of course. Alright, Marco Pulisci. There was no picture of the ambassador to China handy, so the screen displays nothing but text. Were we able to look at these pictures to get, like, graphics of them? Rendered a non-factor by distance. Even in this day and age, likelihood of orchestrating successful takeover from Hang Chao is virtually nil. Stationed, or I'll say, in Hang Chao. So, not a threat. Okay. But obviously he's going to come into play somehow. Alright, the screen displays a shot of a grinning Prince Louis in sunglasses, holding up a ticket to the recent jousting tournament down at the Stadio del Piemonte. The text reads, Louis, younger brother of the king. Oh. Actually, I should say that here. Perhaps the most likely candidate to be named regent purely based on blood ties. Most likely regent. Could conceivably be used as a figurehead by Rico, but is otherwise of negligible importance in any potential power struggle. Could be Rico figurehead. Rico was the financial minister, coffers. Yeah. Okay, so it's dangerous if he hooks up with the prince. Got it. Okay. Likely to be eliminated by Moto or failing that Werkite. Okay, well, I don't mind if they take him out. I mean, in my position, I guess. If these guys eliminate each other and we keep out of the fray, that could be one path to victory. Alright, target of Moto / or Werkite. Alright, great. Set slider to 7. The official portrait of Queen Sarah pops up on the screen. Yeah, let's just move her down. Sarah, Queen of Piedmont, will name the regent shortly after the king's death. Assuming she survives, her death would plunge country into chaos, almost certain to be followed by a military dictatorship under Werkite or annexation by a rival principality. As maintenance of power structure is a necessary precondition to assumption of power, the queen's security is of the highest priority. Okay. I guess she's endangered. Life in danger. Protect queen. Got it. Alright, so that should probably be our first to-do item. So we probably want to hook up with the guards for that. Protect. Well, first we got to find out where she is, etc. Alright, this is basically going to be mostly, especially since there's a time element, this is mostly going to be a recon run because, well, quite naturally, like, we're like 25 in-game minutes in, and we're still just figuring out not only the map, but who the players are and everything. Information, intel. Miss Sierra's piercing stare makes you vaguely uncomfortable as you read the text. Miss Sierra, oh, she's the official mistress of the king. That's hilarious. It's an official position. An X Factor could disappear, could attempt to assassinate the queen, could throw in with one of the stronger claimants to the regency. Goals are unclear. So we probably want to get, maybe if we can get her on our side sooner rather than later, we can sort of like neutralize her as an aid to anybody else. Okay. So we say unclear goals, could kill or ally with another. All right, interesting. Instant win, yes, indeed, VDR. Indeed. Hey, Ambrosine. Ah, yes, that'll happen sometimes. That will happen. Alright, I don't think that... Oh, there was a 9, actually. Or it was empty, right? The word empty appears on the screen. Indeed. So what else was there? There's play, right, protect. So is this isn't the macro then, is it? Interesting. There is an input jack too. Okay, cool. Alright, so that was a good rundown of all the players, if you will. Alright, it's 1:30. There was a tapestry and armor, but not much else. Alright, let's go. Shall we go into the kitchen? I think we shall. Let's get a save, actually. So 1:30, dining hall. Palace kitchen. The palace kitchen is an odd melange of old and new, with the original hand-fired brick oven, complemented with a microwave. The rough marble floor, a dramatic contrast to the bank of fluorescent lights in the ceiling. This is actually one of the very few rooms, most of the others being private quarters of various residents, over which you do not have primary jurisdiction. The honor belongs to the chef. A row of windows adds color to the northern wall, flanked on one end by a refrigerator and on the other by the servants' entrance, which is open at present and watched carefully by a single guard. The other exit leads south to the dining hall. Do we know if that's east or west? Oh, Coconut!
This game will just dramatically end, leaving everyone feeling deprived.
Thank you for that. Excuse me, 500 bits. Coconut, thank you so much. A dramatic ending. Well, a dramatic ending may not be... it might actually be quite the opposite. Instead of feeling deprived, we might feel quite satisfied. Now, a sudden ending, like what we saw in Slouching Towards Bedlam, is a possibility. Then I would be with you. Then I would feel deprived. But here, if we execute our plan, which accordingly we will need to win, I think this could actually be quite a satisfying game. We'll see. It's, of course, very early yet, but still. The palace chef sits at a small table, reading a newspaper and eating an omelet, while the steward busies himself polishing silverware. Oh, the steward is back. All right, so we have a chef. Oh, he's eating an omelet, huh? A page rushes in. Hey! He cries, gasping for breath. The guard signal boxes just went to code red. Some major shit's about to go down. Yep, here it is. All right, so probably the queen's getting killed or something. He tears through the kitchen and bounds out the servant's exit. The steward goes pale. I believe the time has come to tender my resignation, he says, making a quick exit himself. Oh, damn, he's getting out before... Yeah, wow. All right, we should actually put then a page as a character, too. And of course, they're guards. It ends with the mani-petty. Well, it started with the petty, so... Or no, the mani, excuse me. It did end with the mani. It should end with the petty. Alright, well that's kind of neat. So we haven't even mapped out to see where the queen's bedroom is yet. Let's just see where the exits are. I'm fine if it just leads to a death. Again, I'm using this right now just to map stuff. It's the Northern Gardens. I thought there was the servants' quarters, they said. That's weird. Why is it telling me out in? Oh, maybe that's because it's not accessible yet, right? When Kamal Sanaroglu, sounds maybe like a Turkish name or something. Okay, chef. Oh yeah, it says later he's Turk. Awesome. All right, was hired as the palace chef. You made some comment to the effect that it was a travesty to hire a Turk for the position when there were so many French chefs available who would surely be vastly superior. One taste of Sanaroglu's Lubia Aur Mokbi proved you dead wrong on this count, yet even after you tendered your apology, he continues to mock you by putting on a comical French accent in your presence. Oh, that's great. Good for Kamal. Now he's just trolling us. I love it. Alright. Let's see if we can start getting intel from Kamal on stuff. Can you tell me about King Charles, you ask? Well, apparemment, he is dead, the chef says. I know no more than what the page said. I am afraid my knowledge in these matters is limited to death by chocolate. Ask Kamal about Prince Charles. That brat, the chef sneers. Many a time I've caught him raiding the cookie jar. Not to eat them, but to throw on the floor and step on. Oh la 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 la, c'est pénible. This avenue of conversation strikes you as less than promising. Does he not know her, or? Okay, no, he doesn't know the steward. Steward? It seems he has more concerns with his skin than with his job security, the chef says. Myself, I suspect that whoever becomes the new king will still want to eat fabulous food, though I have nothing to fear. Good call, Kamal, good call. I know nothing about him, the world minister. the chef says. He is practically never here. Fair enough, fair enough. It is very strange, the chef says. I tell the coffers minister that the olive oil in a sauce costs 50 francs for the bottle. He say it tastes bad. I tell him the bottle costs 500 francs. He say it tastes good. The same sauce. That's funny. Alright. We gotta get some actual intel here instead of this humorous anecdotes. This man usually procures his meals from outside, the chef says. Apparemment, my cooking, he does not meet with his approval. Well, they make it easy because they, the way Adam, what's his name? Cadre wrote it. Makes it very easy to do these accents here. Alright, ask. So, oh, that's actually an interesting bit of intel, actually. If we need to get rid of him, we couldn't do it through the cooking. Interesting. Alright, that's kind of like a sub-note, but it's interesting. Get food from outside. Okay. I would expect that he is responsible for the green slime in the stinking and in the refrigerator. But if so, it was not an accident. I believe this man does not eat anything and instead drinks the potions that he mixes up. I have seen him carrying them up to his room. The chef shudders. Potions? So just drinks potions, eh? Drinks potions. Interesting, interesting. I'm sure he's going to say he doesn't know anything about Marco, who's in China. Marco Polo Pulici. I know nothing about him, the chef says. How could I? The man does not live here. You could have read or heard something, I don't know. Ah, well. Brings Louis. He will never consider me much of a chef, the chef says. I have no recipes for the cheese puffs or the malt liquor. Hey, Morgan. Ask Mal. This woman, she does not eat as well. Wait, the guard says. Afraid of getting fat she is. While so thin you could break her arms like they are pencils. Okay. So who's the only one that did eat? Well, Argento kind of did. And Klaus did not. So Argento seems the one that we could maybe... does eat chef. If we were able to get the chef on our side, maybe we could get rid of Rico. Hey, Rico. The chef's face lights up. Ah oui, Mademoiselle Sierra, he says. She is the only person in this old palace aside from yourself who has an appreciation of their fine cuisine. Many a time she has had me prepare the dishes she describes in exacting detail, right down to the spices she wants, and not just the typical French food and the Italian food. No, she has a familiarity with the types of cooking from all over the world. A joy she is to cook for, absolument. Okay, so actually, I probably got that wrong, which is... rather than... Argento Rico kind of eats them, but he's focused more on, like, the prices, or about how good it is. So I'm actually going to say, like, it looks like if we're going to use this... eats chef's cooking. Alright, and enjoys, yeah, cuisine. Okay, cool. Oh, right, we're still being cordial. We don't have a reason to be hostile or civil yet. We're not asking him for anything, I guess. Okay. So I think we asked it about everything. I think we're good with him for now. So why don't we pause there? And, well, the buys are on, so we can just process the buys. All right, Morgan. 3 for Torrens Passage. It got surpassed, but it's building its Poisonous Passage army once again. Now to a 3 passage lead over Roger Wilco. And then Morgan also 3 for Metropolis. Oh, and by the way, I kind of put this in the, made mention of this in the Discord, but yeah, the hybrid slot is now, formally now the legacy slot. Meaning the viewer and raffle queues will no longer feed into the hybrid slot. It'll just be legacy games feeding into that slot in the showdown. So even though Chin actually wasn't a legacy game, but the next game there will definitely be Dylan Dog, unless, what's the other one? Oh, Ripley's Believe It or Not gets like 42 slot buys. All right. Ambrosine, 3 for Pandora Directive, which just got promoted last night from Izzy's, who won the raffle. And moves ahead of Curse of Vinchantia, Bill Nye, and Below the Root to V18. And then Kira, 1 for Siberia. Siberia is not on the list. That's Windows Special consideration. But it's not a DOS or nor Windows 3.1 game. You can vote for that, Kira, in the in our Windows Special vote, but you cannot move it. It's on no list. Could it be possible to have legacy games in the raffle queue too? Probably not. I'm not going to rule it out for the future, but I don't really think, like, so far, at least I haven't noticed, there haven't been that many games which have gotten a sustained push. Maybe Rex Nebular could make a case for, but most other games which have, like, if it's been pushed to the top consistently, it's pretty much made it in. I know that's probably going to be less the case moving forward, as there's more competition atop the raffle queue, but the other problem is I don't have, what makes it tough is I don't have the dates for when these games were picked, by and large. This can make it tough chronologically to figure that out, like what the seniority is among them. So at the moment it's not the viewer queue, but I guess we could start tracking that in the future. Alright, so Kira, you bought 1 for Pandora Directive, so I'm just going to assume, let me know if you disagree, but I'm just going to move it up 2 slots, since you already paid 50 for Siberia, which is not on the list. So Pandora Directive will move ahead of Veil of Darkness and Lure of the Temptress to V16. We also have Coconut, 1 more for Space Quest VGA. Did you already spend 3, or I guess you just did 2, right? So this is your 3rd slot of the day, Coconut, so that's fine for Roger Wilco. Noble, 1 for Larry 5. Moves out of SPQR to R5 on the raffle queue. BDR, 3 for Lighthouse, the Dark Being. Moves out of Muppet Treasure Island, Jack the Ripper, and Goblin's Quest 3 to V61. And Servo, 1 more for Burn Cycle. Moves out of a Poisonous Python. Hangs in there at R3. Alright, last call for buys. In fact, actually, you know what? Let me take I'm just going to take a brief bio break. I'll be right back. Buys are still open.
I don't care how you do it, gentlemen, so long as his body is intact. Do you understand?
Yes, we got it. Yes, right, we got it. Yes, right.
Good. Now, I believe you'll find him here on Polysorbate 60 on shore leave.
Okay, I'm ready. Energize.
It is time to come back, little ones. Time to come back to my ill-fated mansion. No one was there to watch my house as it decomposed for over 70 years. But now, I am stirring, waiting for someone to awaken my legacy. Some say I was mad, but perhaps it was those who couldn't realize my genius that I spread throughout the house. It is you, Carl. You have come to my house in search of your missing lover. But she's nowhere to be found. Undying forces are at work in my house, filling your body with horror. Do you know what secrets the past have hidden from you? I may be a toy maker, but these are not simple toys. Scattered throughout these walls are twisted riddles. Each room filled with grotesque puzzles that you must solve in order to escape my house. Come to my house. Come back to me and see what old man Stout has for you.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberry.
Part of my wonderful family.
Alright, if Rufus has brought me his toucan. He found his toucan, he brought it back. Alright. I don't think we had any other buys, right? Which FMV guys were you referring to? What did I miss? Which FMV game? Oh, the 11th hour. Nice, okay. Alright, I think we're ready to resume. So we just finished our interview with the chef, effectively. Yes, we did. So I guess we have two choices. We can either continue exploring, or we can go see what the code red was with the guards. I'm sure we'll find that out soon enough, so let's just keep on acting like nothing's happening. Should we go north to the gardens? Yeah, I guess so. You don't even cross the threshold before the guard posted outside blocks your path with his rifle. Servants only, buddy, he says. Oh, really? So yeah, they did say the servants' quarters. Why are the servants in the gardens? Or they are across the gardens in a different complex, maybe. Like the other guards in the palace, guard 1898 is dressed in a sharp black uniform with fabulous gold fringe epaulets. Ask guard about guard. What can you tell me about yourself, you ask? Look, I'm just here to guard the door, the guard says. That's all you need to know. We get a death by, like, killing him or something? Well, probably should save first, right? What time is it? 10 to 2? 150 kitchen. It guard. Yes. Though the palace guards very dramatically in quality, all of them have at least this element of their training down cold. Open fire when attacked. This one's marksmanship could use some work, though. You don't actually die until the 4th shot. You have died. How unseemly. Very nice. There's our first death. Do we not have our death counter? I should have my death counter. What's going on with my death counter here? It should be... Why is it not showing up is the question. Oh, that's why. Right. Okay. They said bomb burst, yes, with the exception of people's private quarters and the servants' quarters, actually. So I think if we did look, they actually said... Oh, there's a newspaper and an omelet, right? And a refrigerator. So we've got to dot this to say guard servants' quarters. So we can't get through there. And then there's a fridge. This refrigerator has the capacity to store enough food to feed 100. On a number of occasions, this has proven insufficient. Can we open the fridge? The chef notes, we had to throw out all the food this morning. It all had some kind of strange mold growing all over it. Sure enough, the inside of the refrigerator is caked with a mysterious green substance. Oh, maybe that's how maybe the king got poisoned. That illness, maybe someone's poisoning him. Interesting. What do you think, Rufus? Is he getting poisoned? Yeah, I don't know, buddy. What do you think? Can we examine the substance? The mysterious substance, viscous and foul-smelling, pulses obscenely with scores of different shades of green. Oh, that's probably why they did the green on green. And if you look at the box art or cover art, whatever, there's that green shit all over the walls. Probably this mold shit. All right, can we eat it? Probably. Can we get a death? You're scarcely about to risk touching whatever that green substance is. Am I carrying it now, though? No. Okay, what about the newspaper? You can't understand what it says. It's in Turkish. Something about the war in Budapest, no doubt. Well, if they threw out all the food, what is he doing about the omelet? This is a simply gorgeous omelet. The kind of omelet one is almost reluctant to eat because it looks so very lovely. That doesn't seem to be stopping the chef, however. Who is eating it? Not text-based, Hoffman. Entirely text. Yes, we had back-to-back. This won the showdown last night. Can we eat the omelet under the chef? Fabulous as the omelet looks, you'd rather have one that no one else has taken a bite of. Consider the germs. Okay. Can we ask the chef about the omelet?
There is an art to making an omelet such as this, the chef says. But I am thinking perhaps you should stick with the scrambled eggs, no?
Alright, fair enough. Perhaps I should eat eggs. Alright, so other than the garden, well, we should make a note that the chef is here, of course, but... Alright, ingredient substance. Is there anything else we could do with the I guess we could smell it. That was one of the verbs. The odor of the green slime is noxious beyond description. You expected a citrusy bouquet, perhaps? Perhaps I did, game. Perhaps I did. Are you sure I can't taste it? But you have so much to live for. Look at... Aww. Kiss the... Yeah, why not? Let's kiss the cook. Right, isn't that like an apron thing? Kiss the cook? That is either not in the immediate... Or wait, no. Sorry, it's the chef. Though he is worn in an apron in the past, encouraging all and sundry to kiss the chef, you've never actually felt inclined to obey. Until now. Aww. So what if you just try to kill a random character? Like, I know there's a guard present. What happened? The chef is not one of your rivals for the throne. And while you may want to conduct a general purge later on to consolidate your power, a spoonful of his red lentil soup will doubtless be enough to assure that he is not counted among his victims. Yikes. Alright, fair enough. So we might maybe disguise ourselves as a servant to get into the Northern Gardens later. Or a guard or something. Alright. Let's go east to the Northeast Tower Antechamber. The Northeast Tower lies, stunningly, to the northeast, while other exits lead west to the dining hall and south to the Eastern Ballroom. Gotta change this. Oh, we already saw the Western Ballroom, yep. Okay, cool. The Coffers Minister wanders in. Hey, Varicella, he says. I only have a minute, but I just wanted to let you know. I'm building a team... Oh, wait, is this Argento? Yes. I'm building a team now that, well, let's just say there might be a call for new leadership in the near future, and it'd be great to have you on board. We'll talk more later. He strolls out. Interesting. You know what? I might not mind allying with him just so that A, he doesn't ally with anybody else, and B, we have him in our pocket. We've neutralized him, and he doesn't help anybody else, and then when the time is right, we out of the picture. Because he lacks the killer instinct, so I definitely think if we can ally with him, that would be a good thing. I like this. All right, great. I'm guessing there's nothing else in this antechamber. Yeah. All right, so let's go south to Eastern Ballroom. You gotta think Machiavellian, Knox. You know, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? That's exactly what I'm trying to do here. All right, the Eastern Ballroom. This vast chamber has hosted any number of legendary celebrations, usually following one ritual or another. In the chapel, weddings, christenings, coronations, funerals. Palace and Garden magazine voted it the 4th finest ballroom in the Carolinian League, just after Paris, Florence, and Barcelona. This ranking is chiefly attributable to the fresco overhead, which you've always found rather overrated. Still, you have to concede that it can be a glorious hall when outfitted properly. At present, however, the room is quite barren, just a means of getting from place to place. The courtyard is accessible through an arch to the west. Okay, that cooks up there. Why is it giving me the out and ins and outs? I gotta... Hang on. The settings. This is being annoying. Is it the settings? No. Where? Oh, here. Plane. There we go. This arch is flanked by the customary arched windows, though the glass is stained in different hues, perhaps in deference to the chapel lying to the east. Okay. Other exits lead north and south. Oh, and south. Okay. A page rushes by and disappears into the stairwell. All right, just give me 1 second to let out Rufus. I'm gonna skip. I don't know. You know, I'm getting into this. You know, I gotta. This is like a you know, a game of chess. It's like a move counter move situation. I'm hoping it lives up to that. It's definitely it's billed itself that way. So I'm kind of hoping it's, you know, in some ways it's actually a little bit reminiscent of Nine Princes of Amber, which was kind of a similar situation where you had all these people vying for power. In that case, it was like our siblings basically. But that kind of had an interesting dynamic in which I think we were trying to do all of that, like alliances and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of reminding me of this. This has of course, you know, this game, when was Nine Princes in Amber? Like 86, 87, something like that. This has the benefit of coming out years later, and so I'm sure, like, from a logic standpoint, this could be a lot more sophisticated. So I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out, and if we have a lot of flexibility to, you know, position ourselves, or if there's just kind of like only one way to do things and win. I'm guessing based on like we haven't like tried it yet, but based on the cordial, hostile, servile dynamic, that it's going to allow for multiple like paths to victory, but I guess we'll see. All right. So they're kind of basically saying there's nothing really going on here in the ballroom. I guess we could check out the fresco. This fresco, painted by none other than the celebrated Supeghi himself, is a frighteningly unironic depiction of a robed and bearded god, surrounded by a chorus of Supeghi's characteristically chubby angels, lifting Charlemagne up to heaven with his thumb and index finger. The perspective, the brushwork, the interplay of light and shade are all beyond reproach. But the subject... oh, the subject... Wait, so is the subject God or Charlemagne? I guess God, right? Okay. And then the exits, we have the chapel to the east. And then we got hopefully our last antechamber. We'll see. Okay. Let's go to the chapel first. The Palace Chapel, 5 after 2. The church at Avignon was still establishing itself when the palazzo was built, and consequently, the original plans contained no provision for a chapel. But before long, the church insisted on placing representatives at every court within its sphere of influence, and thus part of the eastern wing was quickly renovated into this chamber. Though the low ceiling could not be raised due to the coffer minister's quarters just overhead, ooh, interesting, a huge circular panel of stained glass was installed in the eastern wall. The way it catches the sun during morning services is almost enough to keep one awake through the Christ minister's sermons. No services have been held here for a number of weeks, however. The chapel is undergoing further renovation and is simply an empty chamber at present. How convenient, game. The Christ Minister's quarters lie through a small door to the south, the eastern ballroom to the west. Okay. A guard stands in front of the entrance to Von Fletch's quarters, twitching? Why is he twitching? Like the other guards in the palace, Guard 1959 is dressed in a sharp black uniform with fabulous gold fringe epaulets. He's standing as if he'd forgotten to take the hanger out of it this morning, though. Also like the other guards in the palace, 1959's direct superior is the War Minister. He's not the security forces? But being of Avigny's extraction and having been selected as the Christ Minister's personal guard, it's reasonable to suspect that his true loyalties might lie elsewhere. Interesting. Alright, say that there's, oh man, what was the number of the other guy? Oh, I think they just had. Didn't they say like, oh no, they didn't. Alright, hold on, I want to scroll back just to get the number of the other guard that was in the kitchen. 1898, okay. I'm not sure if the guards really matter, but probably they do actually. Yes, you were close. Yeah, 1898. Definitely close. But you know what? I better treat these. If they're identifying them individually and they are having different characteristics, it's probably important. Guarding servants' quarters. And then we have 1959. Christ Minister's Guard. How do you like the chapel renovations, you ask? Proceeding splendidly, wouldn't you say? The guard regards you coldly. So-called renovations are a feeble ploy to diminish the church's influence, he says. Your scheme is utterly transparent and doomed to failure. My scheme? How about himself? Can you tell me a bit about yourself, you ask? If you know not who I am content to leave you in your ignorance, the guard says. God knows who I am. That is enough. Alright, what about Christ? Tell me a bit about your religion, you say. It is simple, Guard 1959 says. Ask God for his forgiveness and receive Jesus into your heart. Okay, you reply. The guard scowls. I suspect insincerity, he says. About, what am I want to ask him about? The minister. What's his name? Bonflesh. Pierre Bonflesh is the greatest man alive, the guard says. Denying the fact is the surest way to condemn yourself to the flames. Jeez. As you must know, the king has been ill. I fully expect him to die. Woe to him who trusts in so-called modern medicine rather than in worshipful prayer. He has returned to the royal quarters, the guard says. Yeah, well, apparently I had some music on before Bigger that was regarded as too happy. So this was a little bit more mellow and kind of somber, but I guess it's still not quite right. It's tough to also get something that's like period accurate. The only chef I respect made loaves and fishes. Ah, the guard replies. Okay, so he works for Werekite, technically. True, he is my employer, Guard 1959 acknowledges, but I render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, 72 hours of diligent service per week, and render unto God that which is God's. Oh, I asked a question. How do you reconcile your devotion to the church with your employment by the War Minister? Okay.
Mammon slaves will never earn their way into the kingdom of heaven, the guard says. Those who would minister to the heathens and yet not spread the word of the one true God while among them are heathens themselves. Wow, so this guy's all about the stuff. The man is a demon, the guard says, and I do not mean that in a figurative sense. Alright, that's the insane guy. He means it literally. Wow. Alright. Yeah, ask about everything. Whoops. The prodigal lout is hellbound for sure. So this guy basically hates everybody but Bon Flesh or whatever. Ah, the guard says, women were put on this earth purely as a temptation to the wicked. A true king would have no need of a queen. Does the great Pierre Bonflesh have any use for these fallen creatures? I say thee nay. That Jezebel will know the pains of hellfire soon enough, the guard says. Can we ask him about Guard 1898? The other guards answer to the war minister, Guard 1959 says. I answer to a higher authority. Can we ask him about me? But tell me, what are the others saying about me, you ask? I pay no attention to worldly talk, the guard says. Alright, can we ask to go south or just do it? Halt! Cries the guard. A camel has a greater chance of passing through the eye of a needle than a heathen has of passing through this door. You may have a fancy key, but I have a rifle, he simpers. Of course, you could prove your piety with a donation to the church coffers. I am equipped to accept such donations. Oh, so this might be a bribe opportunity. Okay. Alright. I'm hearing you. What's the guy's name? Bonflesh. So this needs to be a dotted line because we aren't there yet. So, pay, or, well, it's not really a bribe, it's kind of a donation. I'll just say pay. Pay guard 1959 to access. We don't have money, of course, so we might need to get it. Oh no. We don't have any money. Yes, too bad. Alright, this is just gonna be just fun experimentation. What if we show the letter to the guard? I have no interest in your worldly detritus, the guard sneers. Alright, fair enough. Okay, so, these were the only exits, right? Oh, Christ Minister's quarters, okay. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but... Actually, let's extend that out. Alright, so, let's go back to the ballroom. The southeast tower antechamber. The southeast tower lies incredibly to the southeast, while other exits lead west to the grand foyer and north. By the way, these towers must go up. Do these go to other floors? They probably do. There was even talk of like these rooms and everything. I guess let's just cover the ground floor first before we start with that. Alright. Incredibly to the southeast. Oh, southeast of this is the southeast tower? Now you're blowing my mind, game. There's a southeast tower here. I don't think the other ones had that, did they? Maybe they didn't, I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. I must have missed that then with the others. The antechamber leads to the tower itself, and that's when you can go east and up. Okay, that makes sense. You're standing at the base of the massive marble spiral staircase that comprises the southeast tower. The lower level of the palace is accessible northwest. Okay, so before we do that, let's just finish with the lower level. In the grand foyer. This chamber was described as the grand foyer.
when your class at the Piedmont Preparatory Academy had its field trip here when you were a child. And so it remains today. You can only assume that grand, in this case, is as opposed to petite, since there isn't anything grand about the entrance hall aside from perhaps its size. A pair of double doors to the south, currently open, lead outside. The light streaming in through them shines squarely onto the Tappezzeria del Piemonte, illuminating just how dingy it has become over the years. Nevertheless, it is still more pleasant to the eye than the blindingly gaudy spectacle overhead, or the ill-conceived black and white marble chessboard pattern beneath your feet. What's the spectacle overhead? 2 armed guards, it looks like today it's 249s and 531s turn in the rotation, stand watch over the main entrance. Normally this would be to keep intruders out, but today you suspect it's to keep the palace cut off from the outside world while the war minister rushes back from Venice. Oh, interesting. Thank you for the host. Yeah, so he's going to be back at like 3 o'clock, basically. It sounds like, anyway. Alright, let me put their names in here. So does that mean we can't leave, maybe? This could be why there was so much importance put upon like these windows overlooking gardens and the gardeners and stuff. How's it going, Matt? Like the other guards in the palace, Guard 0249 is dressed in a sharp black uniform with fabulous gold-fringed epaulets. Unfortunately, the entire front of the uniform is stained with cascades of drool. How unseemly. Unseemly indeed. What's going on, 0249? I'm gonna guess we can't get out of there, but we'll see. This one seems to be 2 sizes too small for the uniform he has been assigned to last. Maybe we could get him a replacement uniform, and then his uniform we could wear as a guard and then get out through the garden. Interesting. I don't know, pal? Within my culture? Does my culture differ from your culture, Matt? Um, 0531. Guard 0531 might be a good bit smaller than your typical palace guard, but surely a more well-fitting uniform could have been found for him. Is the military unaware of the existence of tailors? Let's ask him about his uniform. Did you know your uniform doesn't fit, you ask? It fits perfectly well, the guard says stiffly. Oh god. Alright, let's ask 0531 about 0249. What can you tell me about that Guard 0249 there? You whisper. This is the second time they've partnered me up with one of the overflow from the local asylum, Guard 0531 grumbles. I can't complain too much, though. The last guy was a schizophrenic who thought his rifle was telling him that it wanted to be fired at me. Jeez, okay. Maybe we can, like, set these guards off against each other. That's interesting. What are you talking about, Matt? Speak friend and enter. What can you tell me about Guard 0531 there, you whisper? Me thought me was Guard 0531, says Guard 0249. No, you're 0249, Guard 0531 sighs. I'm 0531. Me is confused now, Guard 0249 laments. Oh, he's trolling, that's great. Alright, so probably we're only going to get anywhere with 0531. Can you tell me a bit about the war minister, you ask? If you think I'm going to divulge secrets about my boss, you're sadly mistaken, Guard 0531 sniffs. Alright, maybe 249 will spill the beans. Don't know who the war minister is, 0249 replies. You do too, 0531 protests. He's our boss. Oh yeah, me know who war mister is now, him is boss. If it could... Alright. you tell me a bit about King Charles? I'm assuming the alert has to do with his condition, the guard says. That's all I know. I've told you all I know. Oh, sorry, I meant the queen, actually. The sentence was not understood, huh? Sarah? You're looking for gossip, you've come to the wrong person. Damn. What about 1959? The odds are poor that such a question would be especially productive. Okay, he's not going to really tell me much about anything, huh? I haven't heard anything. Alright, so can we go south or no? You don't even cross the threshold before the guards posted outside block your path with their rifles. No one allowed outside, grunts 0249. Alright. So, we are going to have to get past guards in Grand Foyer to go outside. Alright. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's go. Oh, what are the exits? Southwest antechamber. And then S is the front walk. Okay. Maybe we should make let's make these dark, meaning that yeah, that's actually a good idea. I should be mapping it that way. So we can call out like rooms we haven't actually accessed yet. In fact, I don't even think we've been to the southwest antechamber. And then, oh, whoa. What just happened with the, Why did there some random thing? Oh. I'm not sure how that just appeared over everything. All right, we have not been to the Northern Gardens. So we've just flagged those. All right, great. I don't think technically we went to the southwest antechamber, but we just fixed that now. The southwest tower lies amazingly to the southwest, but other exits lead east and north. Okay. Yeah, so they didn't call it out, but yeah, clearly there are the towers here. Alright, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and suggest that there are towers in the north one too. Okay. So, I think we've done like sort of a tour around the area, right? We've seen the first floor basically. Yeah, I'm gonna actually change this to, what was his name? Balfiche or something? Just because it fit better. On flesh. Hey, welcome to the stream, Row Bandit. ABCs. Alright, let's see. Can we... I guess we're ready to go upstairs, basically. So... yeah, let's go southwest. You're standing at the base of a massive marble spiral staircase that comprises the southwest tower. The lower level of the palace is accessible northeast. So, if we're at the bottom level, I'm guessing we can't go down. Lie on the floor? How unseemly. Alright, let's go up then. Yeah, you gotta love transport. Oh, there's a middle level, so there are different levels. Interesting, okay. So should we say, probably... I guess we could. Or all the bottom levels. I mean, I don't really think we'll get confused, but why not? Alright, so we're probably going to have to do sort of another whole... If we're going to have to do another whole level, and that was the bottom, I guess we should sort of put this way up on the top here. Hot cows. Hooked on phonics worked for me. You're standing before an arch that connects the upper level of the palace, accessible to the northeast, with the massive marble staircase that comprises the southwest tower, which leads up and down. So there is a top level, a bottom level, and then Ah, there's another antechamber. Damn. These damn antechambers. So we're gonna have to map out more antechambers. Alright, game, you win. You win. I probably should make... Yeah, I guess we can make a technical note that there are, like, up and downs here. Alright. Dang it. What the heck? No, stop. Ah, for heaven's sake. Alright, just kill this. Doing more harm than good. Actually, these don't go down anyway. Alright. Oh, it's more trouble than it's worth, to be honest. You know, I get anal with my maps. Alright. Alright, so access lead east to the southern and north to the western hall? What?
Alright.
Alright, so north and east. Western Hall. And then there was like a southern hall, right? Okay. Though the Palazzo is the seat of Piedmont's government, it is also the residence of those who govern. So while the lower level is, by design, somewhat cavernous and foreboding, a genuine attempt has been made to make the upper level somewhat more homey, with beach flooring, top-notch chandeliers, and rich burgundy runner carpets. In this, the western hallway, the carpet shows little sign of wear. The door to the west leads to the quarters of War Minister Klaus Overkite, who is, as usual, off on some campaign. This time he's taking his aggression out on Venice. Overkite's quarters, which we don't have access to, I'm guessing. To the east, an archway leads to a balcony overlooking the palace courtyard. Tower antechambers lie to the north and south. So I'm going to guess that's the northwest tower antechamber. A guard stands over the entrance to Werekite's quarters, giggling hysterically to himself. Really? Alright, yeah, we need... They're definitely like... They definitely have individual personalities, so this is the drooling dumb guy. I say dumb. I'll just call him dumb. Dumb. Dumb, or drooling dumb. Okay, and then guard 0531 was I guess he was small, or small uniform. All right, and then let's look at this guard. 2901. He's a gaunt-eyed fellow, dressed in a sharp black uniform with fabulous gold fringed pellets. Okay, and he's Werekite's quarters, or guard, I guess. More flesh. And this guy was definitely religious, right? So we may be able to exploit him to take out Werekite or something. So tell me, you begin? What? Aren't you trying to try some of your masterful manipulation on me? The guard asked, yelling and sucking up. Yeah, you're a virtuoso actor, man. Don't I get to see a performance? You hear thunder? Off in the distance. No, not thunder. More of a commotion of some sort.
but very far off, meaning it must be quite a commotion to be audible so far away. Yeah, maybe, what's his face? Werkite is coming back with his army. Is blowing up, I don't know, security forces? Who knows? So, why is the guard laughing? Guard, why are you laughing? You could have sworn that your master plan involved less chit-chat with the guards. Oh. Well, it seems like they could be helpful if we could get them on our side. I mean, come on. Okay, this one doesn't seem like they programmed to really have much in the way of dialogue. The Guardians, this isn't worth my time. Alright, so we're not going to get anywhere with him then. Alright, fine. Non-talker. Or I guess I'll call him the Giggler. The Giggler. Alright, he's not going to let us go in there. Oh! He. The guard says as you stop inside, enjoy your stay. You step into the War Minister's quarters. You take in the scene as the door closes behind you. Along the far wall is... You don't have time to finish this thought, as the door finishes closing and the booby trap's detonator deems it safe to explode. You have died. How unseemly. Ah, wow. It was booby trapped. That's pretty funny. So we did technically make it in there. Hey, welcome Casey Snipes. Booby trapped.
Alright.
Probably don't want to go in there. Okay. Actually... Bottom? Yeah. Alright, I'm getting anal about this. Go left. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not exactly adventure, but it is a text adventure for sure. Alright, let's just undo that and move in. I'm glad we tried it, so we know. Alright, let's go east. The balcony isn't really capable of supporting an adult's body weight. It's actually more of a window box. You hear explosions off in the distance, tank shells, and the scream of jets. Yep, so it's an army. And probably, I'm gonna guess we're gonna die at 3 o'clock. I'm just gonna guess that. So there's a balcony here which we can't even get to. Interesting. So we can't even really go that way. Okay. So if we make it to the southern hall. Though the bay windows before you and cloud-dappled sky beyond are cheery enough, this hallway ought to send chills up the spine of every man, woman, and child in Piedmont. For the door to the south leads to the quarters of Interior Minister Varicella Modo. This way. No longer dark. Okay. Whose term in office has been marked by a sharp increase in the number of disappearances each week, and who bears more than his share of responsibility for that chemical weapons depot that accidentally exploded last year. He has left his mark on the place, though. The runner carpet beneath your feet bears discolored footprints in just Modo's size. Disconcerting areas of the palace can be found to the east and west. Maybe we can like track like people's movements based on carpet indentations. Oh man, there definitely seems to be all this running sort of stuff with with like I mean, I know we were kind of like an interior decorator or something weird, but like interesting. You know, people's clothes are too small, their foot size, like it seems like we're gonna have to disguise ourselves at some point. I don't know. Less disconcerting areas of the palace can be found to the east and west. Oh, right. Okay, this way. I'm gonna guess this is guarded. Yep, a guard stands over the entrance to Modo's quarters, visibly trembling, so he's like afraid. Like the other guards in the palace, guard 3414, dressed in sharp black uniform with gold fringed pellets, he is drenched with sweat, however. We'll call him nervous. What can you tell me about the Interior Minister, you ask? This is the worst assignment, the guard laments. The worst! Even just standing outside his room for more than a couple of minutes probably takes years off your life. And if you do a good job,
Mess up somehow and bam! You get disappeared. I've heard they use testicle crushers. Oh god, oh god. Testicle crushers, ah! Asgard about testicle crushers. The sound from outside the palace gates builds and builds. The massing of helicopters, the steady roar of tank treads, the drumbeat of soldiers' boots on stone. You half expect the next sound you hear to be the neigh of 4 apocalyptic horses. Okay. Asgard about King. Can you tell me about King Charles, you ask? He's sick, right? The guard asks. I don't really know anything. No one tells me anything. Greetings. Werekite sneers through his megaphone. This is your new king speaking to you. Many of you will die now. Being kind, I will give you a moment to make the appropriate preparations. Alright, so, sure enough, we need to do a timeline here. So it seems like the game starts at 1, right? And then 3 o'clock, Werekite. Well, the game's not over. Werekite arrives. Okay. And then, probably the code red happened at like 1:10 or something like that. 1:15. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Oh, Rufus. Alright. Asgard about Werekite seems logical. He's my boss, I guess. Man, I can't believe I got sent to the military, the guard says, shaking his head. I mean, I'm a pacifist. I could never get assigned to him, the guard says. He is guard specially picked out. Who's the other one? Oh, what about me? You can work for me. I haven't heard anything. Alright, hang on, I'm gonna have to get Rufus. Who is the other guy, Rico? Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo. I really don't know a whole lot about him, the guard says. Just that he's supposed to be an easy assignment. Rufus is back to say hello. Right, buddy? Oh, there we go. Good boy. Rufus is barking at something out there. Good boy, Rufus. Oh, it's okay, buddy. You're safe here. You're safe here. Yeah, it could have been foxes. We don't know. Could have just been a bird or a squirrel. If Rufus sees it, he'll bark. Good boy. He's also got his toucan. Yeah, Rufus is like, what is it? What's going on with this text? Speaking of which, what time is it? Okay, we have about like maybe 5-7 minutes. Hopefully we can probably just get this death. I mean, if Werekite arrived at 3 o'clock and it's 3:05, I'm guessing probably only 5-10 minutes until he would come to kill us as one of his rivals or something. It's too bad we never ran into what's-his-name to make the alliance. Rico. What can you tell me about Prince Louis, you ask? I really don't know a whole lot about him, the guard says. Just that he's supposed to... Oh, also an easy assignment. Very well, Werekite says. Let us begin. As if on cue, 4 soldiers burst in. How highly Werekite must think of you. And drag you outside where a well-placed swing of a rifle butt to the back of your legs brings you to your knees. You crack both the kneecaps on the stone walkway, and the pain is blinding. Or almost blinding, since you do in fact see Werkite simper sadistically as he places the barrel of his pistol between your eyes and fires. Your last thought. In a world where everyone tries to stab everyone else in the back, it's almost a relief to find someone who'd rather shoot you in the face. Yes, very. You have died. How unseemly.
You are so dead.
Very, very dead. Alright, so he arrives at 3 o'clock, but by 3:05, death by Werkite. Alright, so that was kind of standard with his MO, right? Like, he was supposed to be murderer, has an army, he'll seize the throne, he's 2 hours away. So, yeah, basically you have until 3:05 and then they kill you. So, because we didn't really, we mapped stuff out, I think we can just easily restart and then okay. And then we can, yeah, just finish, try to well, I don't know, we're probably gonna have time tonight to finish mapping the middle floor, but use unseemly, should go. It is, yes. Very unseemly deaths that are occurring here. So it's kind of, let's map this out how we would do this. If we can, just my easy, I haven't really interacted with the other guys yet, but if we can make an alliance, here's kind of what I'd like to do. We ally ourselves with Rico, right? So we keep him out of the picture. Basically, everything we have to do, I think we have to probably turn the guards before Werkite arrives. So whatever we're building up, Werkite is kind of the last step that we need to build some sort of defense or something when he comes with his army. We're using Frotz. So if we can ally with Rico, the ambassador is like not even in the picture, really. Who's the other? Oh, the crazy dude. Yeah. Who was the guy that we could bribe? I remember thinking about someone we could bribe. I know it was one of the guards. Oh, it was Sierra, right? Maybe Sierra. So if we have to think about bribery, treachery, and brute force you probably have to do with Werkite. Treachery we would do with Rico, because we'd ally with him and then like betray him later. And then Bone Flesh, there was the thing of bribery. We might bribe Bone Flesh and or Moto is a little bit tough. That's the kind of the toughest guy. We probably have to use treachery against him and have him drink his potions. So I would say bribe Bone Flesh, brute force Werkite, and then we may need to poison Moto because he drinks those potions. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but we'll see. All right, anyway, let's quickly sir, the manicure isn't quite fit. Well, I suppose it is now, the steward says as you leave. All right. Steward follows you out, heads north, presumably start polishing the silverware. Yeah, Northwest Tower Amphitheater. Northwest Tower, bottom level, up. Northwest Tower, middle level. Then we go southeast here to the Northwest Tower Antechamber, which we now have been to. And so we've got to add the tower itself. Okay. Exits lead east. Oh, the throne room is east. Okay. Oh, Xera, thanks very much for the host. How's it going? Other exits lead east of the throne room and south to the western hall. Yeah, we never went to the throne room. Let's try that. The throne room. Though the Palazzo is the seat of Piedmont's government, it is also the residence of those who govern. So while the lower level is, by design, somewhat cavernous and foreboding, a genuine attempt has been made to make the upper level, we read this kind of, didn't we? somewhat more homey, with beech flooring, top-notch chandeliers, and rich burgundy runner carpets. The throne room is the exception to the rule that the upper level of the palace be less intimidating than the lower. But then the throne room has no other purpose than to project magnificence. The extent to which it succeeds is a matter of opinion. The gilt throne with its red velvet canopy is certainly impressive, though the bright green telephone right next to it detracts from the effect somewhat. On the other hand, it attracts nowhere near so much as the portraits, and eventually photographs, of past kings on the southern wall. The royal quarters lie to the north, while tower access is available to the east and west. Alright, so we have the throne, we have the phone, and we have the portraits. And then we also can go east, and then north is the royal quarters. Okay, so that's probably maybe where the queen is holed up. I'm gonna guess. Where we have to like go protect her and whatnot. And then I'm gonna guess it's the guard's hands watch. Yeah, whistling to himself. Okay. And then to the east, yeah, we do have the northeast tower antechamber. Okay. All right. Actually, we can probably move all of this over. There we go. Yeah. Just so it's equivalent there. Okay. Yeah, we really don't have much time. I just want to see one thing. I wanted to look at the carpet in front of the southern hall. Some substance on Moto's footwear has managed to stain the rich burgundy runner carpet a sickly green color. And what's more, it seems that one of those prints has actually eaten through the carpet, revealing the beech flooring underneath. How very unseemly. Yes, indeed. So it looks like that it's probably the green substance, the mold, that kind of destroyed all the food. But yeah, he could be the one that's poisoning the king, no doubt. We have not been to Moto's quarters, by the way. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So, stained carpet. So we're gonna have to investigate. Investigate connection between Moto's footprint and green substance. It is his modus operandi. Indeed. Alright, very unseemly. Let's just quickly map out the first level, even if we don't examine everything. Alright, so here we have the southeast tower antechamber. I'm gonna guess that there are the southeast tower is gonna be here. Oh, it's southeast tower middle. I also have the northeast tower middle. Alright, next is about north. Okay, and then we have the eastern hall. So this is, I'm gonna guess that the other quarters are gonna be off of here somehow. Rico's quarters, probably. I haven't even looked yet at the screen, but I'm just guess based on the patterns we've seen. Though you've done your best to keep these quarters tasteful, tased is not in the vocabulary of Coffer's Minister, Argento Rico, whose doorway lies to the east. Across from it is an arch leading to a balcony overlooking the palace courtyard. The arch has been adorned in gaudy gold leaf as a tribute to the immense wealth and even more immense gaucherie of this hall's chief occupant. Tower antechambers, thankfully out of view of this eyesore, lie to the north and south. A portly guard stands watch over the Rico's quarters, gnawing on a huge turkey leg. It's like the 7 deadly sins, like he's gluttony and wealth and such. Well, I guess it would be greed too. Okay, so that's the, not Eastern Hall, that's Rico's quarters. You also see a cooler, which is closed here. Oh, okay, so that's like, what guard number is he? 3076. Portly. Rico's guard. Entire front of the uniform is stained with enormous splotches of grease. How unseemly. Sizable hand foam cooler. Don't touch the cooler, the guard grunts. Take it. No, you can't. Turkey. The turkey who used to own this leg must have been involved in some sort of radiation mishap to have grown this big. Alright. So why don't we'll pause there and save. Alright, so yeah, I guess there's a buying opportunity if anyone wants to buy anything, but obviously we got 2 hours in. And I mean, really we just spent time exploring and getting the lay of the land. So we haven't really tried actual puzzle solving yet, but I'm sure that'll come on the next stream. But yeah, it sounds very promising. We'll see how it is in practice. But I have already an idea of how I would want to approach this. But I don't know what the game will allow me to do and not do. So we'll see. And it doesn't also seem like there are very few objects. So it's probably going to be less of a puzzle or inventory-based game, and it's going to be more wheeling and dealing via dialogue. So we're going to have to try the different modes and try to flip guards and so on and so forth. So yeah, it definitely has a lot of promise. I just hope it lives up to some of that promise, but it's kind of it's kind of an open question, no doubt. I don't know. I mean, look, it did win Game of the Year '99, so I guess we should give it the benefit of the doubt that it's probably pretty good. And it seems pretty good so far. So yeah, I'm encouraged by that. All right then. Why don't we host up here Sharpie Blaze, with his Genesis challenge. Although he's playing via the power-based converter, the Sega Master System game Action Fighter, which is game 665, on his challenge. So we'll do that. Also give a bonus Cedric here at the end of the stream. And that'll do it for day one, the first 2 hours of Varicella. We are a palace minister at work, Machiavelling our way around. I really hope we can deal with these guards. We'll see. But yeah, some promising, perhaps entertaining gameplay awaits. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you right here, hopefully tomorrow night, or it could be Thursday night. I'm not sure yet. But we'll see you next time for more Varicella on the DOS Adventure Quest. Have a great night, everybody.